You're listening to the PTO Unlimited podcast.
Welcome back to the PTO Unlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 57.
57!
Another one of those insignificant numbers.
Do you think we'll have like another significant number other than like the 100 and
69
I'm
would be great.
gonna make it. I'm gonna make it my goal to find a significant number for each number going forward.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing.
Right
That's a
on. So, you want to talk about your weekend?
Yeah. Andrew and I went and watched Fate of the Furious.
So, was it good?
Well, it was exactly what I thought it was, which is more of the same, just ridiculous, over-the-top action.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I want to go and see.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I thought it was it has less cars. It's, each one is significantly less about cars, in my opinion. This one, even more so.
Yeah.
I just punched your mic.
Okay. But I mean, it was fine. There's some kind of cameo, not really cameo, but real small surprises that are really cool.
Okay.
There's something very interesting at the end. The actual story is ridiculous, and
Like
there is
usual?
a pretty intense scene sort of in the middle with Vin Diesel. So
Okay.
I won't say any more than that, but
Overall?
they're not Oscar movies. None of them ever are.
No.
No.
But they're fun,
Well, that's
Right.
what I like about
And
it.
Andrew was late to the theater and made me mad.
How late?
I mean, we got in on time, but he
Okay.
wasn't early like I like to be early. Just like you guys weren't for Power Rangers.
What are you talking about? We were prepared for that. We were
I
on
waited
time.
20 minutes for you guys.
Like, I don't know if
We got there on time, though.
We were on time,
that-
but
is
you
that-
weren't in my timetable.
Was that when you had to take a shit?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I think it was. We were going to leave, and he's like, I got to go. And I'm like, we have to leave. And he's like, I've got to go.
I don't remember that. I really don't.
I remember because I had a text Brad. I'm like, Josh's poop.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's just
Nature
what happens.
calls.
Nature calls,
Yeah, no, you gotta go. I think I'm in the minority as far as movie times. I like to be at the theater like 30 minutes before the supposedly starts.
No, we usually get
I
there
would
like
love to
15
be that
minutes.
early.
And the reason why is because of the significant problem you've had with concessions.
That was
That's the other
bad.
thing is we almost never get concessions.
I don't get concessions like hardly ever. The only time we get them is when we're with you.
Yeah,
I feel like
didn't
when we're with
even-
friends, we tend to, for some reason, we need
Friends
to
make
get
you
something.
spend money.
Did I get anything for Power Rangers? I don't think
No.
I did, and I didn't for Fate either.
Okay.
We
Where'd you go?
We didn't get anything for Guardians.
Jefferson Point.
Oh, okay. Right on.
So, what night did you? Well, you want to talk about yours? I mean, that's
Well,
pretty
I
much
just-
it for me.
I guess-
I'm not really going to review it, is because you already know
Anything
kind of what it is.
Anything happened like during the week last week or the beginning of this week for you?
Yeah.
No. For us last week on Thursday, I met up. Well, not I guess met up, but the oldest friend I have came here to Fort Wayne. He's done a lot of traveling for his job and training stuff and all that. And he was driving through Fort Wayne and he had an extra night, so stopped in. And his name's Sonny. I've known him since I was 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so 25 years.
It's always good to catch up with
26
him.
years.
He's fun to catch up with.
Yeah.
I've met him. I
Few
think that
times.
was our third time, or at least my third time meeting Sonny.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about it, Alex, but I noticed one of your oldest friends had an announcement recently.
They did?
Yeah.
Go.
Who's your oldest friend that I know?
Amanda?
Amanda?
Yeah.
Oh, did you not know she was pregnant?
No,
I guess
that's my point.
technically. Okay.
Brett doesn't hang out with Amanda. It's like,
I know.
okay, well, it's Thursday night. I got to go hang out with
You were like
Amanda.
confusing me there. I was like, who has an announcement I don't know about? No, my oldest friend is going to be having her fourth child. You know how last week we were talking about diapers and I said my friend's having a diaper party?
Oh, so that was
That's
her?
Amanda.
Well, I know her. So.
I know, but I know, but I guess last week or sometime this week, I think this was her official announcement. I've known since she was
Alex.
11 weeks, I think.
Alex.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna say Brett is a better friend to Amanda than you are. I'm guessing because
No.
apparently
I saw
he
it
hangs
on,
out with her and he
I
knows
saw it
everything.
on Facebook because I worked with her mom.
Facebook
Well, I have those
stalker.
same pictures that she posted of her
Yeah.
announcement downstairs.
See, so you're fine.
Yeah.
So yes, I do know. I have known. I was up there for being one of the first people to know. So yes, I do know that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't know when diaper party or anything is, but yes, that's who I was talking about last week.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I do know that. I'm excited.
And then on Friday night we played some Borderlands. I guess this will just tuck away into playing and watching for us because that's pretty much what we do. Is if there's any gaming, it's normally with online and. So, and that's what we did Friday night. We played up until like 2:00 in the morning, but I was falling asleep.
Yeah, for like the first time. I'm usually the one just kind of like, you know, passing out, but I took like an hour nap before we got on, and usually it just makes me even more tired, but it ended up being like a power nap, like just what I needed. And then as Josh is wanting to go to sleep, like Josh is over here falling asleep, and I'm just like into the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? You want to go to bed?
I couldn't tell you where we ended.
No, you
I don't
couldn't.
even
Like this,
remember.
Josh was like sedated,
Yeah.
like the whole like eyes rolling in the back of the head, and
for a couple of minutes.
like Jared and I were talking. We're like, Josh, I'm sorry guys, I'm real tired.
Yeah, I was really tired. I don't know why. I have no idea.
Like you can tell when I'm getting tired playing, and I'm trying to force myself to stay awake. Is I start like I'll die accidentally by going off a cliff or something, like, or I'm into a wall just walking.
And that's no joke. We were playing.
Or I'm spinning around in a circle.
We were playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the 360, the Turtles in Time, and at one point, Alex's character just stopped moving. Just
like as
stopped.
the screen keeps going.
Like it was pushing her as we were trying to move forward. Like, Alex, come on. She's like, huh?
Like I just like I had the controller right, and I was just like,
You
ow.
did the same thing with Castle Crashers.
I've done it with Castle
Side
Crashers.
scrollers must make you sleepy.
No, because by the
never-
time we end up playing them, it's super de-duper late, and I fall asleep.
You were gonna say
I
something.
never really heard of anybody falling asleep while playing stuff except Rick.
Really? He falls asleep to video
He
games?
has. I don't know.
That's just
It's a
because I'm
common thing,
up
but-
really early in the morning, and then by the time we're playing, it's with there being a 2-hour difference when we play with Jer.
Sure.
He doesn't get on until sometime 10 o'clock at night, which
Yeah.
means that's when we start playing. And the first hour, all we do is fuck around in the lobby talking and catching up, and then we play.
Yeah.
So by the time we actually play something, it's almost like 11 or midnight. And when we play for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
Yeah, yeah. Get a bulk chunk taken care of with our video game.
But it makes it nice for when we go to bed, because then I'm like out like a light bulb. So
Yeah, and then on Saturday night we had some friends over and we
we had game night.
played some games. We played the Switch. We
Really?
got to
We did. We got to
try out
we
the
got to play the
Switch.
Switch.
No motion control, or it's motion control, but no sensor bar. That's the one thing. I was like,
that was the weird
no
thing. I
sensor
kept
bar?
thinking like that I had to have it in front of the TV. You can play it any, like the hand thingies come off and you can play it anywhere. But we played a bunch of what was the game that we played?
1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch, which is a bunch of mini games, pretty much, just to
It's like-
kind of like Wii Sports.
Wii Sports, yeah, in a
Yeah.
sense. It gets you used to the controls and what you can do.
And we played it. It was me and Josh against our friend
Shane
Shane
and Wayne
and
connection. Yep, the Shane and Wayne connection.
And there was one where I think we talked about it before when the Switch came out. It was where you hold the controller and you have to imagine that there's little balls inside of a wooden box,
Yeah.
and you
You
tilt
count
it
them.
back and forth, and it feels like it's super weird, super real. It feels like there's balls in a box going back and forth. And you have to count how many balls are in the box.
So
Balls in a box.
So Brett,
Write that down. for
balls in a
possible
box.
title.
Balls in a box. I know you give Nintendo so much shit, but you can't deny that their products are quality.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
are.
my Wii is still working.
There is
just fine.
a milking the cow game.
Oh yeah,
where you have to, like-
squeeze.
you have to squeeze
the two buttons.
the-
You like
as you
go
pull down, you have to squeeze it, and it like depending on how fast or slow you squeeze and the amount of time that it takes you to squeeze and how far you pull down, it like, you pour more milk out or something like that. So that looked really weird. And then there was the soda bottle.
soda bottle one.
So you
that
shake
was
it
like,
up.
It's like hot
you shake
potato.
You shake it and then you pass it to somebody, and you can feel it vibrating like it's going to explode.
Yeah.
And you just keep passing around, but each time that person has to shake it and pass it, and then whoever it pops on, like, then you're out.
Then you're
that,
out.
That was a lot of fun, because by the time like who lost that one? Were you?
Me.
You did.
Yeah.
By the time like it got to about Josh, like it was like
It was rumbling pretty bad.
It was rumbling pretty bad.
So I shook it just a little bit, and I was like, I want to keep going. So I kept on shaking it, and all of a sudden it just poof. I was like,
Do the Joy-Cons run on batteries?
No, they. I guess they charge while you have the Switch docked.
Okay. Well, so they have a battery.
Well, yeah.
Internal.
Yes, internal. Yeah, there's a battery.
So
it was a little difficult to remove the Joy-Cons from, or not the Joy-Con,
I don't know what that's called, but don't.
There is a
table.
part of the Joy-Con that you put on that has like your wristband and
And
stuff.
it's got 2 buttons.
And it's got 2 buttons on it. That we even the person that owned it, we were having issues trying to remove it.
Wayne couldn't figure it out. And then after we were done playing the Switch, we went into some retro gaming and played Mario Party 2. It was so fun.
Well, I mean, it was on the Wii.
It was on the Wii.
It's
okay.
Classic, yeah.
But it was Mario Party 2 for 64.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
I have that.
I want to play Mario Party 3.
Josh
I just want to go through Mario Party.
Josh kicked everyone's ass.
Not on purpose.
There was.
I thought the game was going to Wayne and you. One of you.
I never in all these years I've known Josh and we've played Mario Party. The game shits on me. I never like playing because I always get screwed. Yep. I never get a star, and by the time I get a star, everyone has 5 stars, or
There's no way you can win.
There's no way I can win.
Pretty much.
And when we were playing, all of a sudden, I was taking people's stars, I was getting mystery stars, I was getting all these coins, I was winning winning mini games. I'm like, the heck is going on? And I'm like looking at Josh and I'm like, I got a star.
you got 2. I think you got 2 free stars.
I got 2 free
that
stars
were in the hidden block.
And then I got to it was like nighttime or something, and I passed by a ghost, and
Boo.
It said I could.
You can steal a star.
I could steal a star for
And
50 coins, and I could steal it from anybody. And Wayne had 4 at the time, and
I think it was a little bit less than that.
He said something like, "Alex, don't you even fucking think about it." Something, and then he's
just like,
I looked right at him. I'm like, well, I wasn't gonna pick you now, but boop, I took a star.
Yep, and then I won by having.
You got all the happening stars or whatever they were called.
No, not necessarily that. I think I finished the game with 7 stars.
It was a lot.
Everyone else had 5 or below, and
I had 3.
I ended on 10 after the bonuses. 10 stars.
Yeah, screw
we
you.
did 35 turns. So
I think it took an hour and a half or 2 hours to play.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great. I'll play
and
Mario
then-
Party all day.
Before that, we played board games. It was supposed to be a board game night. And we played... First thing that we played was Categories. Mm-hmm. Have you played that one before? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then for people that don't know what Categories is, basically you get a list of words 1 through... or things 1 through 12 on a card. And you have to write down... you get a little dice that has the ABCs on it, and if you roll it, you get a 2-minute timer, 2 or 3 minute timer, and you have to write down what the beginning of that letter for each thing that it's telling you 1 through 12.
Right. Yeah.
So if for instance, number 1 is a boy's name. Well, if we rolled a B, it has to be that whatever you write down. And the way that you win is that when you go around and you tell everybody your answers,
you have the right answer.
You have to have a correct answer, and you also have to have an answer that doesn't match anyone else's to get a point.
So a right and unique answer.
So
don't say Bob. Pick Buford.
Yes. So there was one point
Or
where
Biff.
we
Binford.
we rolled an I, and we started to go around and I sucks.
Yeah.
And Shade ended up writing Italian for every line. He's like, I couldn't think of anything else. It was Italian dressing, Italian bread, for each little thing.
Yep. And we're like, no, you get one.
You get one Italian.
You get one that works with that. So
it was a fun game. And then we played Taboo.
That doesn't ever work with most people. It's
Taboo is you get you're on teams of 2, and you have someone has a buzzer standing behind the person reading the card, and you have to. It's kind of like charades. You have to try to explain to your partner to get them to guess a certain word, but you can't use the 5 words underneath the word that you're telling you or that you're trying to get your partner to guess, and the words are very significant to that word, so it's very difficult. And if you say a word on there that you're not supposed to, the person watching you has to buzz you, and then you have to go to the next one. Mm-hmm. So Josh and I are pretty good at that, because I could be like, this thing happened to me yesterday, this, boom, done. It's really, we're kind of a badass couple with that game.
Right. And but they tied us. I don't think
Shane had ever played before, but they tied us, so it was good. It was a good game.
So, and then Sunday we saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We'll give a little bit of review on that here. So
you can go ahead and start.
My take on it was I did not like it because of the fact that I had to go and look up these things afterwards. It was nerd heaven. Like it was basically
it was beyond the basic nerd.
Yeah, this is stuff that
this is heavy nerd.
That if you're heavily into the subject of Guardians of the Galaxy,
Comics,
you would know. Yeah, you would have to look in depth of who is who. They never explained Sylvester Stallone's character. No idea who the heck he was. They didn't explain Jeff Goldblum's character.
Nope.
No idea what he was. They didn't explain a lot, and then they went into depth of things that may have not been necessary. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was. I would say that Baby Groot took the took the award of best actor.
Him and Batista.
I liked Batista more in the first one. I'll definitely say that.
But I feel like he was the same character. I don't think he pushed it any bit more than he did the first one.
Yeah, and Kurt Russell being in there was pretty interesting. I mean, and I never noticed how much Kurt Russell and Chris Pratt look alike. They actually really do. Mm-hmm. Like he could be his dad, pretty much. They look a lot alike. And the after the credits scenes, none of it made sense except for one of them, and we'll kind of get into depth of that if you're interested in knowing about it. The Stan Lee character.
Yes.
Basically, they explained who Stan Lee is and why he's in every Marvel film.
Mm-hmm. Because there is a reason.
It's not just because he's a cameo. There's an actual reason.
Story behind his character. Because it's an actual character.
Yes.
And I believe they released something on YouTube or something.
Oh yeah, it's already out there.
I think Stan Lee came out and was explaining it. Is what it was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you should look that up. It's pretty interesting.
I'm gonna say what he is.
Okay.
So if you guys don't want to know,
spoiler
alert for 1 minute.
It's not really a spoiler.
I don't think it's a spoiler, but
Stan Lee is a member of the Watchers, and they are a group of alien race that watch different realms, pretty much, and he just reports back to them. Mm. So and
you get to see a scene in Guardians of the Galaxy.
You see that, and then you also see the end credits where they're walking away from him because he's like, "Wait, I'm not done talking to you," and they just keep on walking away. He's like, "I have more to say," and they just keep ignoring him because he was like, "I have more to say, more to talk about, these different characters, the ones that he's written as, as him." Yeah. Did you like Nebula? She had a main part.
She did. She did have a main part in this movie. I was
a lot of emotion.
Yes, I was very torn between liking her and not liking her, only because I had such a hate for her in the first movie, and then it's she's by the end when it was pretty emotional. I kind of got that connection and was like, okay, I like her now.
So Brett, something happened to me in the theater.
Oh boy.
The movie was ending, and it was supposed to be an emotional ending. My allergies spiked. I started sniffling,
and I was sitting next to some guy that was about our age,
and I had a tear coming to my eyes because my nose was bothering me so much. I'm like, damn it! People around me are gonna think I'm really sad, and I'm really not. I mean, I was fighting a sneeze for half of the movie.
It was a sad ending.
Not for me.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I teared up a little bit actually.
Really?
I did.
You didn't care about?
I did.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I did. I was sad.
Well, you haven't really said what you thought.
Well, she's next.
I was going to. Are you done?
Pretty much. I mean, I just want to say that it was. If you are a Guardians fan, go see this. Personally, out of 10, I would give this maybe a 7 or an 8. Which is a pretty high number.
I thought that would be. I thought you were going to give it a 5 or 6 the way you were talking about it.
Probably, I'd be more comfortable around a 7.
Okay, well, I'm giving it a 7.5.
Oh, okay.
So on my scale, I enjoyed the movie overall. It was good. It wasn't great. It was good. I liked it. I do agree with IGN's review of it, which was they said it was you could tell that they tried or pushed a little too hard to make it a lot get the reaction a lot like the first movie. And I agree with that. I feel like the first opening scene was amazing. It just that right there made the movie for me. But I did feel like it was jam-packed full of information that I felt like I was trying to figure out, like Josh was saying, but not growing up and reading the comics, it went right over my head. And
I'm trying to remember the opening scene
where they're defending the battery. And Baby Groot's just...
okay, yep. The music.
Hi.
The intro, yep.
Baby Groot, he steals it. He's adorable. He's everything I wanted him to be. If anything, the only thing I was mad about with the Baby Groot character is that I kind of wanted to see some fight scenes with him. And it really... You see one little time where he gets upset, but it's... I mean, I guess that's what it is. It's Baby Groot. He really doesn't have a lot of power. So,
yeah.
he's just there to be cute and adorable, and that's what he was. Like, he stole everything. So he was good. I loved him. Batista's character, like I said, was amazing. And really, I think Chris Pratt's character was... everybody's character was still about the same. I think Gamora's character was changed.
She's a little bit more emotional.
She's a little bit more emotional in this.
Less dead.
Yeah.
You know? Because in the first one, she just... I feel
like you didn't really get a lot of Gamora, to tell you the truth. Like, you didn't really get a lot of lines from her in this movie.
No, you got more from...
you almost got more from...
You got more from Rocket.
We did.
Like, Rocket was pretty main in this one.
Yes, Rocket was a main character. And Yondu. Yes, and Yondu. That just... This movie made me like Yondu and appreciate Yondu so much more. Like, I enjoyed it. I liked how there's like a little Easter egg in there, how he gets...
his actual fin.
His fin on top of his head, which Josh had told me about, and I figured I think I had seen a picture of that before. But he's such a badass, and he makes the movie the movie. So I really enjoyed that.
As much as you hate him in the first one.
You hate him, yes. But you hate to love him, and then you end up loving him in this movie. The action itself was great. I feel like the movie was a bit long.
It did feel long.
It was long, and then the part where... Chris Pratt's character meets his dad, which is not a spoiler alert. It's in the freaking trailer. That whole part where they're explaining things it's in depth, and I think it's a little too long. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, I think I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. And it's Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I would have gone back the next day to watch it again. The soundtrack is also great. I don't think it's as good as the first one.
Not as good as the first one.
Again,
the first one, they picked better hits.
They pushed the music, I think, a bit much in this because that's what a lot of people liked from the first movie.
Yeah.
And then all of the scenes at the end, like Josh said, most of them went right over my head. So it's kind of like, well, I guess we're going to have to go home and look those up.
Right.
So at the end, I like getting an Easter egg or an end scene and going, oh, man, that's leading to this, and getting excited.
There was nothing to get excited about.
I couldn't get excited about it because I was like, well, obviously that's a thing.
All of it was.
There's a couple cameos in there from the other Marvel movies. So that was... I caught those, but that was really about it.
Cameos from other movies.
The Duck.
Okay. Yeah, Howard the Duck.
And then there was another one in there.
Yeah. So, anyways.
So I think that's it for Guardians. It's a great movie. I think that you guys should go and see it.
Did you play or watch anything else?
Finished How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. Oh, you did? So, okay. What did you think?
I liked it. I thought the whole... And this is going to be a spoiler for the end of the series. So if you want to hear it... A
series that's been over for like 5 years?
Maybe, no, not that long.
Not that long.
No?
But
it
anyway,
ended when we moved back.
The whole thing
4 years.
In the very last episode, Barney finds out, he got a girl pregnant and he has a kid and it changes his life. I thought that was kind of cheap.
I thought it was, I was kind of about that too.
But
looks
it's
like
true.
They needed something else to finish.
Yeah.
And then the twist that I always heard is Ted's wife was actually dead. Which I didn't see that coming.
Wait, what?
At the end, when he's telling them the story.
He tells them the story.
Oh, have you never finished the show?
How many times have I said
sorry.
that?
Have you never finished the show?
That's why I said, did you like it?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Ow.
Yeah, watch out your ears.
Went to go do this.
To the over the head.
Yeah, you can't do that when you have ears.
I have my little ears on.
Anyway, it felt like that wasn't the plan until season 9.
Right.
For her to be passed away. Because they put so much on how, he loves Robin and everything. And, we got the storyline where Robin and Barney are getting married. And then they get divorced. The fact that almost all of season 9 was dedicated to their wedding just for them to get divorced felt kind of dumb.
That's how I felt about it. But at the same time, everything came to a close. And that's what I wanted.
Did, and
every little thing.
Them... having the kids tell him you need to go be with Aunt Robin was nice.
It was nice, but it wasn't believable for me.
It wasn't a good feeling. You're not alone. You are not alone. A lot of people outcried and said, this is not what we wanted. It
felt like they didn't know how it was going to end until season 9 was written.
Well, that happens to a lot of shows.
And I'm sure it does. It could have been done better.
Overall, I enjoyed the last episode, though. Like, I felt like that it just covered everything right then and there.
I did think it was weird how they had kids together before they got married. Ted and, was it Tracy? Or is that her real name?
You know what? I don't remember what
I don't
her name
either.
is.
Who?
His wife.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Tracy.
I think it was.
Yeah.
That might have been
Honestly,
the
I don't
actor's
remember.
name. I don't remember. But anyway, still, I mean, as a series as a whole, fantastic.
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty good. I say it kind of dried up towards the end, personally. Oh, that's going to do that. Don't want to do that.
I think it does what most series does. It hits its peak in like 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. 4,
Yeah.
5, 6.
Yeah.
And then starts to let down in 7, 8, 9.
Also depends on how far the show goes. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Big Bang Theory. I don't even know what season they're on anymore.
I believe season 10 is airing.
Okay.
Maybe season 9. I'm not sure. But
Yep. You're right, Tracy.
Tracy.
That's her name.
The other thing I watched, as far as playing goes, it's all the same stuff. Ghost Recon Wildlands. I'll probably be playing that for the rest of the year because that's how much content.
Well, we
it has.
got to wait for E3. E3's in a couple weeks. Then you're going to get some announcements that might change your mind.
Maybe.
I mean,
but it won't affect me immediately.
I'm really excited for E3. I'm expecting a lot of Nintendo and a lot of Xbox. I mean, Scorpio's coming out this year, and we've got the Nintendo Switch just got released, so there's going to be some game
You're
announcements.
hijacking my playing and watching.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hijack it, but I'm just saying.
So I was just walking around Walmart looking at through electronics because I like to see what's on physical copies every now and then, and I saw a first time on Blu-ray, I think, and that's Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay.
Movie from the 70s. And it had, so I bought it because I don't have it and it's on Blu-ray.
Neat.
And you've never seen it, right?
I don't intend to either.
That wasn't the question.
I answered you.
Yeah, yes. I suppose you have not either.
No, I think I've seen it. If I did, it was a long time ago because it sounds very, very familiar.
So you can't even.
I can't tell you what it's
see it
about,
in
but
your
I bet
head?
you if you talked about it, I would recall it.
So basically, a guy in a Trans Am, they're going to Texas to pick up beer and bring it back to Atlanta or Alabama, Georgia, I'm sorry. And he's driving in a fast Trans Am, and he's basically clearing the way by having the cops focus on him so the truck can go fast because they have to do the run in 28 hours.
Okay, maybe I haven't seen that one.
Well, anyway, it was a big deal in the 70s. It's a movie from the 70s.
Maybe that's just the title is what I've just heard of then.
Burt Reynolds is the lead.
that came like maybe I've seen
Get closer to your mic.
maybe I've seen just scenes or something because I pictured Burt Reynolds in it.
Wearing a cowboy hat.
Yes. Okay, so I've seen.
You might
I've
have
seen-
just seen
I've
the
seen
movie
clips
cover.
or something.
Burt Reynolds was the lead. Jackie Gleason is kind of the villain. Does that name ring any
Nope.
bells? Jackie Gleason is a comedian from like the 60s.
Okay.
And earlier he had a show in like the 50s, I believe. If you've watched Back to the Future, when he goes back to 1955 and he's at his mom's house, they're watching the Jackie Gleason show in 1955. So I was watching the special features on it, and it was interesting to me because the director of this movie was Burt Reynolds' stunt double for like years. Like in all
The
of,
director?
Yes. Like all of Burt Reynolds' movies, or most of them, he was his stunt double.
Huh.
And what's interesting about it is that the idea in the 70s of a stuntman directing a movie was ridiculous.
That it still seems like it's
It's like,
ridiculous.
Right.
like on the set of movies that he's working in his spare time, he's writing the screenplay because he wrote it too. And people are like, "What are you doing? You're ridiculous. Nobody's ever going to make this movie." So he takes it to studio after studio, and they turn him down, And he gave the script or the screenplay to Burt, and Burt read it, and he's like, "This is terrible, but if you get somebody to give you the money to do it, I'll be in it." Now at the time, Burt Reynolds is like the biggest star in the world, and I mean, I'm talking women loved him. He was like,
He was the shit.
I didn't even know how to compare him to today.
Today, Channing Tatum, maybe?
It could be. I mean, this is pre-internet, so people loved him, and the way you saw him was he was on TV shows, he's in magazines, he was on the big screen. So finally, he takes it to, I believe Universal, and they said, if Bert's going to be in this, we'll give you money to make it. And they shot the movie in 30 days.
Okay.
Okay.
So, which is ridiculous.
That's also
That is
ridiculous.
a very small time.
And the budget was like $3 million,
Oh my
Wow.
god.
and they made, I think, global $250 million,
Okay.
which
Okay.
isn't much, but in
That's
1977,
a lot of money back
That's
then.
a lot
That's
of
a
money.
lot of money.
That's a lot of money in the 70s.
and so I just thought it was really interesting that, just kind of how it came about. They got Jackie Gleason, who was at that time, he was a major star. But it's one of my, I don't know if it's one of my favorite movies, but it's always a special movie to me because my dad showed it to me when I was a kid, and it was significant because at the time he was a truck driver, and a large part of the movie is trucking. So I've always loved it, and it's funny, I was watching the extras, and Burt Reynolds said that after the movie came out, the president of GM said, we're going to give you a Trans Am or a new Trans Am every year. So he just expects this Trans Am to show up, and one day or 1 year it didn't happen. So he calls him up. He's like, well, yeah, this is Burt Reynolds and my Trans Am didn't show up.
Huh.
They're like, well, that was the old president. He died and the new president doesn't want to give you one.
Oh.
And he's like, I had to buy it.
Oh
my God.
And he also said that, and that's the big symbol to the movie is the black Trans Am.
Okay.
And because it was a smaller car, it was a smaller muscle car, but it had a really big engine and a turbo.
Yeah.
So he said that Trans Am sales after the movie came out went up 700%.
Oh my god.
So that's
no reason why he got a Trans Am every
pretty
year.
You
interesting.
got the biggest star in the world driving this car. People are going to want to buy it, especially if the movie's a hit, which it was.
Okay, so back in the 70s, that was okay. Nowadays, when you see so much product placement, you just
It doesn't matter anymore.
Like Transformers, for example.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
They've got
It's all
Cadillac and
over the
Chevy
place.
and all that just
Well,
right
did you
there.
know the car Easter egg in that movie? In the first first Transformers?
I'm going to guess it was a Trans Am.
Well, no, Bumblebee is a Camaro.
Yes.
And in the last fight scene in the city, one of the Decepticons just shoots the shit out of this yellow GTO.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, GTO was Pontiac's muscle car.
Mm-hmm.
And here you have a Camaro
Yeah.
killing.
All right.
So Michael Bay did them a solid.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's some interesting facts. I did not know that much about Smokey and the Bandit.
Well, yeah, and it may have
Bandit.
bored some of you, and I apologize, but
No,
I thought it was actually
well,
pretty
personally
interesting.
for us, I mean, for our audience, and it's an interesting fact. They shot a film in 30 days. You don't hear about
Oh,
that unless
yeah.
it's a documentary,
like,
maybe.
the other movie I can think of that was shot in 30 days was Phone Booth,
Okay, and I know why.
because they're
It was-
smack down
There
in the
was
middle of New
one
York.
Yeah.
scene,
And there's one stage,
yeah.
but they had to shut down streets to do it. But
You know what? We should watch that movie.
the only
Phone Booth?
other,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
The only other person of my age that I know likes that movie as much as I do is our friend Greg.
Okay, really? I didn't know he
I
liked
didn't know
that
that.
much.
How did you know
Well,
that?
I don't know if he actually likes the movie, but he likes the idea of Eastbound and Down, which was a song that was featured in the movie.
Oh,
Okay.
So I don't, honestly, I don't know if he's ever seen it, but I think he has because I know we've talked about it.
Yeah. Is that
he
all
seems
for,
like a guy that would watch that kind of movie.
Is that all for playing and watching for
That is it. Just one other thing. So I'm looking for a new 30-minute show to watch on my lunch at work and stuff.
Okay.
you? Life in
And
Pieces.
Life in
so
Pieces.
I was decided to finish Last Man Standing
Okay.
because I'm one season left on it, and it was great. I was watching it the other night, and basically in the story, Tim Allen's wife gets him the '67 Impala for his birthday. Well, the former owner of the car shows up, and it's Jay Leno. Now, what's significant about that is that Jay Leno, if you don't know, is a huge car collector.
Yes.
Jay
I
Leno
do
and
know
Tim
that.
Allen are friends.
And they're friends, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was in this episode, and it was great because he had a couple just shots at NBC, or I can stay and help you work on it. I'm not doing much. I've retired twice. It was just great little nuggets like
Snippets.
that
Yeah.
just kind of poke fun at them or whatever. He had a line about how easy or how it's not easy standing up in front of people, making them laugh. So just kind of cool things like that. And I'm a really big Jay Leno and Tim Allen fan, so it was really cool to see that.
Yeah. I used to love watching The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. That was my go-to every weeknight.
What was the
in
thing
summer.
that I enjoyed watching from him? The newspaper thing?
Oh,
or-
headlines.
Headlines.
Headlines
I
was
great.
loved headlines.
Every Monday night.
Yes, I
That
did
was
like
one of
that.
my favorites. Yeah, I loved it too. Moving on to playing and watching the stuff that we did. We finished Life in Pieces.
Yep, we finished Life in Pieces, which big
cliffhanger.
Big cliffhangers.
Big cliffhanger.
I wasn't sure how they would make
But every single story had their own cliffhanger.
I know, and it was awesome.
Like the parents, the newlywed,
the
kids, and the
just everybody had their own.
Every group had their own,
and it was all like boom, 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 like all at the same time.
Okay, so the only cliffhanger. Yep. I was remembering the cliffhanger from the parents because I couldn't, but that was the first one.
Yes.
Yep. So, it's a really good show, really funny. If you don't know what Life in Pieces is,
first episode will get you hooked.
It's on Netflix.
Most of the time we say, hey, you got to make it through like 2 or 3 episodes before you like it. No, episode number 1, story number 1 is what grabbed Josh and I.
Was that the one where they bring the baby home?
Yep.
Okay. And then we've been trying to watch Sense8. Trying.
So we even went to go turn it on, and then our dilemma was that on Saturday when we went to go and watch it, the first
we had an hour and a half.
We had an hour and a half to kill.
No, this was Sunday. It wasn't Saturday.
Oh no, you're right.
It was right before
Sunday.
we went to the movie.
Yep. We had an hour and a half to kill. And the first episode is 2 hours long.
Yes.
Jeez.
It's
2
a
hours.
movie. Yeah. It's a freaking movie.
And like from Sunday all the way up until last night, we're like, you want to watch it? Man, it's already 9 o'clock. like we have to plan to watch the first episode.
Yep. So
I'm sure it's great, but no, we have not had the time in our schedule to watch.
No, we haven't.
Sense8.
We did watch a few trailers though during the week. The new Blade Runner trailer came out, 2049.
Which I remember almost a year ago when we were on the podcast, we did watch.
We reviewed it.
Or at least you did.
We reviewed the first one.
I watched I caught the last maybe 30
I thought
minutes.
You watched the whole
I didn't
movie.
watch the whole thing. I came home and you were watching it and you had finished it or something. And I caught the last part of it and I was super confused and I had not even seen the whole movie. And you were super confused and you had seen the whole movie. Yeah. And I remember calling up my father and saying, I remember, this came out when you were younger or, teenager, whenever. Mm-hmm. And was it a big movie? He's like, yes, it's a big cult movie. Everybody loves it. I'm like, but it's fucked up.
Yeah,
and he's
really is.
Yeah, I know, but it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sit down and try to watch it again.
I'll watch it again before we go see the first sequel.
The trailer for that you showed me for this one, he watched it and showed it to me. I didn't look it up, Brad.
I think we're just gonna establish that now. I'm the one that looks up YouTube
if anything,
videos.
I was in the kitchen washing dishes and watch this, and I had to put my head out and I kind of watched the whole thing. Yeah. But I saw that there's going to be some great leads in it.
Yeah, Ryan
Jared
Gosling,
Leto's in it.
Jared Leto, and of course Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford's in it. Ryan Gosling. Right?
Ryan Gosling.
He is the main character.
Yep.
So, and I think this is a sequel, right? So it's a sequel to Blade Runner.
It's called Blade Runner 2049.
Okay, so I think we're just gonna have to sit down and watch it because I'm actually interested to go and see this movie because it looks good.
And Ridley Scott has the helm or as an executive producer of this one, and he did directing, I think, for the first one. So Ridley Scott's really been busy the past few years.
I think it'll be a good movie
because Alien Covenant comes out next week. I think it's either that or Pirates. I'm not even excited for Pirates.
I am, but I'm not because I think we're kind of overloaded right now.
Yeah.
So it's like one thing after another.
Power Rangers, then there's the
called
Furious.
The summer.
Yes, it is.
We talked about the summer blockbusters and all of them that were coming out. What was the other trailer we watched? You wrote down another one.
There was Blade Runner, Orange is the New Black.
Oh, yeah, Orange is the New Black,
so
season
5. The trailer for it actually came out. And for me, just because that's the show that I watch, I'm excited for it. I already have some opposing opinions for what they're making the show or turning it into. They're pretty much praising jail is what it looks like. But, I haven't watched the season, so I'm going to keep my opinions to myself until I watch it.
Right. And
hopefully it's good. Because I think it was like season 3. I think it was season 3 where I said it was either 3 or 4. Yeah, it was 3. After that, I was like, I don't even want to watch season 4 because season 3 just was so. I just didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
And I sat down. I'm like, you know what?
Was that the one that I watched where Mama got hit?
I think
by the van.
That was either end of 2 or end of 3.
I'm sorry if that's a spoiler
I really don't
alert.
remember.
This is a couple years ago.
But it was passable for me. And then when season 4 came out, I didn't even rush to watch it. It was like a month after it came out, and I'm like, you know what? I have some time. And this last season actually was pretty damn good. So now I'm interested in 5 because of where they left it off.
That's the thing. That's the thing with us in Sense8. Like, we're just sitting there like, I don't know. It's just taking some time. I don't know if I want to get into another show that deep, you know.
It's a lot of information is what it is. But no, I'm still very excited to be able to have time to watch Sense8.
Brett, what's your next TV show you're going to move to?
Oh, that's what he said. He's trying to figure that out.
No, because I usually have an hour show and a half-hour show.
And that's what we like to have. We like to have our 30-minute shows, like Life in Pieces, and we also like to have our hour shows.
Your mic is making some noises, man.
It's the little thing.
Okay. It's a thingy.
I hope that didn't go through your mic.
No. If it did.
Let's see.
Sorry,
we also
guys.
had, I didn't watch it yet, but there was a new trailer for It that came out. And like you were saying on the precast, Brett, one of the boys from Stranger Things is going to be in it.
Wow.
Do you know which one?
I forget his name. The one who
you can describe
they're
him.
at their house.
Oh, okay.
In
The
his
main
basement.
character.
Yeah.
The main character's in it.
Not Will or Dustin. It's the third one.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I think
Lucas.
Josh and I were discussing
I can't
that.
remember his name.
Don't
worry about
Josh
it.
and I were discussing that when the first It trailer came out. It's like, oh my gosh, with the way that the It trailer kind of looks like, it feels kind of like Stranger Things.
Sure.
I'm like, oh man, that would be cool if like one of the Stranger Kid guys or boys were in it. And yeah, so that'd be. I want to watch it, but I don't. Like, I don't want to. I don't do scary movies anymore.
Scary movies. We haven't even watched the last Paranormal movie.
Nope.
Alex was really into the
I was
story.
super into it, and I just last couple of years, I just can't. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Well,
I can't do gore, and I can't do scary.
Well,
I can't remember the last scary movie that we watched.
probably be the one.
Huh?
Carrie?
Carrie's not scary.
The newest
No,
Carrie
it
was not scary.
It was a thriller.
I always think of Carrie as just a standard.
Now the original Carrie is fucked up.
Well, that's a little bit more. It's a little bit more psychological.
That's what I mean. Like
the newer
it's
one.
that messes with me.
But
I
a
can't
lot of
watch
people
it.
didn't like the new Carrie. I thought it was great.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I thought. What's her name?
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember the name of the girl?
Chloe something.
Yeah.
Chloe Moretz.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she does. I like her a lot as an actress. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her.
Yeah, she was really good in Kick-Ass. Did you? You didn't see any of
Yes,
Kick-Ass?
I saw Kick-Ass.
Did you see the second one?
No.
Okay.
'Cause I was told not to.
Why?
Because it sucked.
It was good.
I think you're the only people who think that.
Oh, I don't know. We liked it.
It was good. I want them to come out with a third one. I want them to come out with a sequel to Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That'd be great.
I want one of those. But
Did you do
your movie announcement?
No.
Would you like to do your movie announcement?
So that concludes playing and watching.
Yeah, I think
now
that's
that we're
playing and watching.
More than halfway through our show.
I don't think we have it. Well, we've had some interesting conversations.
Yeah, tangents.
I decided to make a list of movies that I have not seen and should have seen by now. And yes, Gladiator's on it, but it's not number one.
Oh no! What is number one?
Jaws.
I haven't seen Jaws.
I don't know why I get these all the time. I'm just gonna every time you say you haven't seen something, I'm like in shock.
Wait a minute, have you seen Jaws?
Yes.
He hasn't seen Jaws.
Nope.
You
just
haven't
said
seen
it.
Jaws?
Mm-mm.
You've not seen Jaws?
No, and I've had no interest.
I want to see it just because
Bitch, you ain't no nerd.
the significance of it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You've not seen Jaws?
but I hear don't watch the sequels.
No.
Well, there's no
I've even
need to.
seen number 2. I think I don't know how many there are, but I've at least seen the
There's
first
4,
2.
I believe.
Alex, I'm going to attach a rubber band to your neck and the mic stand, so you stay right next to it.
So
You've not seen Jaws?
No.
That movie scarred me as a child.
Do you have your list?
That was a movie I was allowed to watch when I was a child, and I would not show my own child this movie.
Is it rated R or is it
Yeah.
PG-13?
Yes, it's R.
Is it R?
Pretty sure. But
I could see it being a PG-13 movie back then.
It affected tourist beaches for an entire summer because people would not go in the 70s. People would not go swimming in the ocean after that movie came out.
It was one movie that makes me scared to be in deep water.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, I know when we go to the lake and we go tubing, I have a legit fear of being in deep water and not seeing what's below me.
and that's going to happen.
Jaws has a little bit to do with that. Because it caused some anxiety as a child watching it. I know there's not a freaking shark in a
lake.
in a tiny lake,
No.
but there is. It's the fear of not knowing what is below my feet, and being in a deep. I just.
Spielberg did
Nope.
that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I do believe that there's a similarity to Jurassic Park, whereas the shark, Bruce, was mechanical,
Yep.
and at times would come alive just like the T-Rex did, and scare the crap out of the crew.
I have a couple of facts about.
There's so many one-liners, and the theme music. All of that is just so
Yeah.
popular. I cannot
Okay.
believe both of you guys have
Okay.
not seen it. I've seen a popular movie that they haven't. This is exciting.
So I want to tell you. I want to tell you
Calm
some
down.
facts about Jaws.
All right.
The first thing is, crap. I'm losing my train of thought.
Fascinating.
At the last day of shooting, Steven Spielberg did not show up because he didn't want the set to go wrong, and so from here on out, for every single
Go ahead.
for every single film that he directs, he does not show up for the last day of shooting.
So what does his
That's like his
assistant director do it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just does not show up for the last day of shooting
Like it's bad
because
juju or something?
he's had good luck through all of his films
I'll
so
be darned.
far. Why would he show up on another one? He did the same thing for Jurassic Park. I know that for sure. But Jaws was released in the summer because I think it was Paramount. Was it Paramount?
I don't know.
Whoever
this isn't
the
Tony.
movie studio was.
That might be right.
Didn't have any faith in it, and so they released it in the beginning of summer because that's when all the movies were dead, and that
Right.
started the movie blockbuster trend.
I'll be darned.
Yep.
You know, I can't tell you.
You know where I learned that, Brett?
Where?
From YouTube.
Very nice.
It's Universal.
Okay, Universal. I think Steven Spielberg is contractually obligated with Universal.
Yeah, well, or at least he may have been at one time, or they had a good relationship because
He does DreamWorks.
Universal did
Jurassic Park.
Indiana Jones
And Indy.
and Jurassic
No,
Park.
Paramount did Indy.
Oh, that's right. Mountain.
Yeah.
The globe is Universal. The mountain is Paramount.
Yes.
By the way, interesting fact: it's PG.
What?
Yeah, and that
It's
even
back
blows
when-
my mind.
It's back when PG really pushed. Before
Plus, I think
there
back
was
then
a
there wasn't a
PG-13.
PG-13.
There was
They really
a
pushed the
G,
limits.
PG,
That's probably
and
why I was
R.
allowed to watch it. That's why
Yeah.
it boggles my mind. So it was 1975 release, PG, and it's titled as a mystery drama film. Which I don't
Why is the shark
necessarily.
so big?
Yeah.
How did the shark get here? What's touching my foot?
There is I don't even know if I could sit down through that right now. I mean, I would love to watch
It's
it with you
probably
guys.
bad.
No, it's
Well,
good.
if you accept the fact that it's 1975.
If you take that in consideration, it's still a great movie.
What else is on your list?
I would be pissed if they tried to remake it right now.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need it.
It still has that grip. Like I mean, my grandmother can't watch it because she's like, she watched it and she's terrified of that because of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many freaking
Okay,
one-liners.
Alex, we got
I'm sorry.
it.
It's a great movie. You guys need to watch it.
So Gladiator, of course.
Gladiator's on there.
Silence of the Lambs.
Okay. I just
And
watched that.
I put some other
Not for the
stuff
first time.
on it. I can't remember what else I have on it.
let's
I
see
did have
here.
trouble. Taxi Driver or the one with Robert De Niro.
Taxi.
Taxi. Okay.
Yeah.
Did we see that?
Or is it just the taxi driver?
I thought it was Taxi Driver.
The one that I haven't, or the one that you haven't seen that I would definitely recommend is Animal House.
Yes.
John
I might have
Belushi.
put that on there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we need to go back to our list that we had for Brett, Alex.
It's
Yeah,
Taxi Driver.
I've got
Okay.
a list in my phone.
That's also another one. That's 1976.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I said, it's movies that I consider myself a movie buff, and I know there's lots of good movies that I haven't seen. So
Did you just go down the line of IMDb?
no, well, I
Top
did.
100?
I did some.
I've got a list going in my
Searches.
phone from a year ago. When every time we'd say you haven't seen
So
this,
that-
I started keeping track. So I've got a
Okay.
list in my
Okay,
phone.
Good. I did, but a lot of it was really old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just
I would start with the old stuff.
Yeah, I just kind of went halfway with it. So
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try to do 2 movies a month, and see how that goes. If I can do more good, and
If it's stuff that you haven't seen, and you should just say what they are, like when you're going to watch them, because I would like to watch them too.
how,
Like maybe we have a movie night.
Yeah.
we know how that goes.
Well, you
I know,
have
but we can try.
you have some time off.
Yeah.
True.
You're going to have some time off. We can do like a couple nights where we do like a back-to-back movie night.
Or something.
See.
That would be fun. I would like that. Gives us something to talk about on the podcast. There's benefits.
Yeah. So, is that all you had for that?
Yeah.
Okay, Alex.
Yeah.
Before we get into what we're doing tomorrow night, you had a male and female question.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. So this is just, I mean, this might not go anywhere. It's a topic that we had someone coming in and just kind of shadowing, or actually he's technically an intern. But as you know from like our previous podcast, me talking about, there's at least a couple coworkers that are about to pop as far as being pregnant. So we talk a lot right now about babies and having a baby, and both of these girls they're younger than me, and they are having their first child. So it's a lot of scared and asking questions and discussion and whatnot. So as we're talking about one of my friends, Shelby, we're talking about her because she's due pretty much, she's 37 or 38 weeks right now. So she's due pretty much any time. And so we were talking about her and just having the baby, and how with her being her first child, she's never gone through labor before. So I asked her, are you going to get the epidural? Or are you going to do all this? Or are you kind of, you want to do it all natural? And she was very kind of like how I am right now. As of right now, not having a child, this may change. I kind of want to do it all God's natural way. I don't want to have drugs or anything else like that. I feel like if I was put on this earth to be able to do it back in the day, I should be able to do it now without any drugs.
Right.
You are squeezing a life out, it should hurt. That's how I feel about it. Not saying that people that get drugs are wimps or anything like that. If it comes to the point where I can't handle myself, yes, I would, that's what drugs are there for.
There's a time frame where you can have that done.
I believe so, yes. But
so be prepared.
I understand that, but you need to be prepared for my choice in wanting to have the child. So anyway, so we're talking about birth, and she had decided that she wants to do it the way I want to do it. All natural, no, unless, a C-section or anything like that is a complication. And so we were talking about the pain and how she said, so I went online and I started reading forums and stuff about how to describe the feeling of childbirth. And I was like, why the hell would you do that?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good idea.
Scaring herself out of it or into it, I guess. She can't really get out of it.
Right.
And we were just discussing it and how they said just the different comments. Which one was, it feels like taking a big poop. From the lowest pain scale to the highest, it feels like a ring of fire. Like just bloody nail, just everything bad.
Before you go forward,
yes.
I'm not hearing a question in this.
It's leading up to the question.
Like she's trying to describe this stuff to us, and we're just like,
okay, there's a point to it. Okay, so what she found out is pretty much it's different for every single person. And then we got on the subject of watching YouTube videos of men getting simulated contractions.
I've seen that video.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then our intern, who is male, and he's probably 18, 19, had said, I don't know how women can do this kind of a thing. If I was ever a female, I'm thankful now that I am a male and I do not ever have to do that. So it became the question of, we asked him, if you were a female, would you ever do it? He said, hell no, I would get my uterus taken out.
Dang.
So I guess the question is, would you, directed towards you guys, if you guys had the ability, because, we're in like this generation or time where things can happen and people are changing their body parts all the time, if you had the ability to take that pressure and that ability away from me, if I could not have a baby and they said, hey, you know what, we can change it so that way you can have the baby and you could deliver it, would you? Knowing everything that you know about pregnancy.
Well...
Brett's about 9 months along right now.
It's a tough question because you don't know. But if you had the chance and there was a way to, if you absolutely wanted to have a child, and the doctor said, you know what, there is a way. Kind of like I don't know what that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger is.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Mr.
about.
Mom.
No, it was crap. I know what you're talking about.
It's not Kindergarten Cop.
He actually gets pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they gave him he's not supposed to, but he ended up getting pregnant.
It's gonna bother me.
But yeah, so anyways, would you guys have a baby physically if you were able to have
Brett,
a baby?
Did you hear me?
No.
I said you're about 9 months along already.
Well, are you calling me fat?
I'm fat too.
I guess he is calling me fat.
See, I'm answering your question with another answer without saying yes or no.
I want an answer. If I found out I could not have a baby and there was a way for you to have the baby.
I thought you were talking about hypothetically where I'm not, where I don't know.
No, you carry it for 9 months and you squeeze it out.
If the person I was married to couldn't,
yes,
and we wanted a child, and the only way if I had to because she couldn't, and then I guess it would come down to how badly do we want to be parents?
Right.
How badly?
Yes.
See, That's like for me right there. That's like, how badly do you want to become parents? So if I can't have a baby and we really want to have kids, it's okay for me to get pregnant right now. Like, it's no big deal if I get pregnant. But if I can't get pregnant, he has to seriously think about, well, how badly do we have to want to have kids for me to have to go through that pain? Is what I'm thinking from that answer.
Right.
Well,
is that kind of where it comes from? You don't want to put yourself through that?
I guess what I should have said, or what I meant was, if we've already decided we want a family and she can't, then it's either me or nothing.
That's true. I mean, there's always adoption, but I'm saying for this specific situation.
I guess I would.
You would?
Yeah.
You would go through that. You would go through all of the contractions.
No, I'd do drugged up.
You would, but you would do it differently. You would do it drugged up.
Yep.
But you would carry the whole 9 months.
Yeah, why not? Doesn't bother me any. I've already worn the belly.
That is nothing compared to what it probably is.
I did it for a full day, and it had like these little balls that stuck into your ribs because it's supposed to show you.
That is what both girls at work are complaining about right now, is that they can't breathe. And if the baby stretches, you see them like pushing down on their belly, like quit it out. Oh. I honestly, I can't wait to get pregnant, but I know it's going to be at least another few years. But just the feeling of when people start to show, and the fact that there is a human growing, like, it just fascinates me. It's pretty cool. Like, yeah,
you are making a life.
I know. It's just, but I'm that weird person sometimes, like, ever since my sister got pregnant, and I saw her when she was 8 weeks pregnant, and then I came back and she was 8 months pregnant. Yeah. So she went from like flat belly to big belly, and she was all belly. And I did not, for the 3 days that we were here, I did not take my hand off of her belly. Yeah. Like, it was just so fast.
Kind of creepy when she had to go to the bathroom.
Obviously, I took my hand off of that, but like the whole time I sat there with my hand on her belly, just because it was such a cool. I'm like, people walk around like it's some natural. I mean, it is some natural thing, but it's like, it's not a weird thing, especially if it's your first one. They just walk around like it's nothing. Like, you don't constantly sit there and go, "Oh my god!" Like, I feel like when I get pregnant, I'm going to be fascinated.
You're going to have some serious postpartum depression.
Probably. Yeah. I think I probably will.
Imagine all the clothes you'd go through.
All the clothes.
And because you'd have to buy maternity clothes. And
do you realize how comfortable those clothes? Like, I had accidentally bought like some clearance.
You bought some
pajama
maternity
pants, and I bought some maternity pajama pants, and they're the comfiest freaking pants ever. So
which ones were they?
They're in my blue ones. Like, they have like some kind of expandable band or something.
Your blue ones.
They're my fat pants. Every girl has got a pair of fat pants.
They're called cookie pants.
Or cookie pants, I guess, like from Scrubs.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Everybody has a pair. But anyway, so I guess that was just the only conversation I wanted to, or question I wanted to have.
Speaking of clothes, let's move to that question that I was talking about in Target.
You can move to that, and then I'm going to look up the thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay, because you wrote it down. Right? The 90s thing that you...
Yes.
Okay. So we were in Target the other day, about a week ago, and I was sitting there. I was looking at the prices of shorts. Mm-hmm. They are the same exact price as jeans. Personally, I think that if you're going to buy a quarter of the product, it should be a quarter of the price. Personally. Like, seriously, thinking of it. Like, if you're wearing shorts...
Don't think of it like that. Think of it as an article of clothing.
No, I think about it as how much clothing. Because they charge extra for extra large. Why not do the same thing with shorts?
They are charging... No, they don't.
Are you kidding me? Extra large is $2 more.
Yeah, for a lot of clothing, they charge extra.
I've never noticed that.
So why don't they do the same thing for shorts? Since it's exactly... you're getting less than the jeans, why aren't you getting less price?
Because it's below the waist or above the waist clothing.
I don't think that matters.
But that's how
above the waist clothing, a t-shirt, we're going there.
I'm saying if you have pants or jeans, it's an article of clothing.
I don't agree with that.
I see
pricing.
both sides. Like, I feel like that's how I feel sometimes when I'm such a picky shopper that when I go in, and I'm one of those people that if it's over, it's kind of raised over the years. If my limit is $30 on a pair of jeans. Mm-hmm. Unless it's something like these are perfect, they feel great, then maybe I'll pay an extra couple bucks. But my limit is $30, and hopefully they're on clearance. And when I go in and I buy like or see a pair of pants for $78, for one, that blows my mind. And for two, I go in and I see a pair of shorts, especially being a female, seeing a pair of shorts, and I try them on and my ass hangs out because they barely cover anything, and they're $78. That kind of throws me off right there.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're getting older.
But it's always bugged me.
I've always thought of this when I was like 18.
It's always like since I was actually able to buy my own clothes, I'm like, why the hell would I buy this? Like, pay this kind of money to cover. Like, I get it for style and things like that. That's how they try to get you. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, that's a lot of money for barely any, like, a piece of cloth.
Yeah.
Versus, like, covering your whole leg.
Yeah. Personally, I think that if you're going to use less fabric, you should be paying less. So.
Well, it also depends on
that means thongs should be a quarter.
I wish. But no, that's not how it is.
Right.
That's the same way with, like, if I were to go into Victoria's Secret and stuff, like, they upcharge so much of their stuff. Like,
pay for the name.
That's the thing. You pay for the
but
name is
you
what
also
it is.
pay for a lot of quality.
I do agree with that, too. They do have a lot of, like, the quality of their stuff is much better than buying something else from somewhere, like a different kind of store.
You could have just said Walmart, Alex.
Okay, or I was trying to think of another store, but yes, shopping at Victoria's Secret versus Walmart. Yes, you're obviously going to get better quality at Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stuff they sell panties there for like $40. $40 for one thing. One little piece of just no,
some butt floss.
Obviously, I don't pay for that kind of stuff. I go there on the big sales where I can get like a handful of the stuff for $40.
Yeah, where you're fighting other women, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there.
Those places during those sales, there's like panties flying. Like
no, that's no joke.
like,
there's no organization
during like their semi-annual sale or whatever. Like
so they just put them in bins or something. Don't
they do, but they are like. It's a big mess because people are like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and it's all over the place.
Well, they try to categorize it with the style, and then the drawers are the sizes.
I mean, it's very organized when you're the first person and the only person in there, but when you're there during a sale, everybody's in there, and it's ridiculous, and you have to like
crazy.
Lean over people to get something good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just what I want to say is like basically you're paying a lot for.
I know. I guess let's ask our audience what is your opinion on having to pay more for less?
Yeah,
pay more for less. Opposite of is that Walmart's thing?
Yeah,
yeah. Or is it pay? I don't remember what it was.
Save money, live better.
I know, but what it was? It was
there was one before that.
There's something about pay less.
Yeah,
Payless shoe store.
No,
there was another. There was another.
Walmart's
thing.
slogan in the '90s had something
like,
to do with pay less.
Buy more, pay less. I think
probably.
Oh, something like that. But anyways, so yeah, what is our? We'd like to hear from our fans. What's your opinion on the shorts and pants and price conversation?
Yeah.
So speaking of expensive or greatly overpriced items, as far as
I thought we already talked about.
We didn't.
We didn't
get to it. So we're probably like a week and a half late on this conversation, but. There is a site that sells jeans called Nordstrom.
Nordstrom, yeah.
Okay, so you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have no idea, obviously. But they are selling, and I'm going to show you a picture of this, and we can post this on our social media. This is what they are selling.
Oh, the mud. Yeah.
So there is what they are is they're jeans, and they look like someone went outside in the rain in some construction site and just rolled in the mud. Like they are painted on mud jeans. Like it looks like you just came from a construction site.
Yep.
So there's one thing about that. If that was like $20, that'd be one thing. These pants are selling for $425.
Yeah.
Honey, it was always low prices, always, and then before that was always low prices, and then save money, live better.
Okay, well
for Walmart. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't remember what it was. Okay, so, but I'm going to read you the detail or what the description is here. Heavily distressed, medium blue denim jeans in a comfortable straight leg, fit, embodied, rugged Americana workwear that's seen some hard-working action with a cracked, caked-on, muddy coating that shows you're not afraid of getting down and dirty.
For
$425. Grab a pair of jeans, go to a big money thing, and go run around and lay in that shit. You don't have to pay $425 for this look.
It's all about marketing.
Who's going to buy these?
Somebody will.
Who is going to buy that?
They probably had focus groups and
I'm on the same board as you, Alex. Like
to see people will pay this.
Go to a fucking farm and do work. Lift a finger instead of spending $400. You can get paid $400 for that day for working and have muddy jeans in the process.
You understand? People with money don't care. $450 is nothing. That's why they're that much. They don't have to work. They can afford the jeans. It makes them look like they were working. That's why they're $425.
They're assholes. I'll tell you that.
Just.
You're mad at them because they have money?
I'm mad
at them for spending money on the wrong
on something like
What's
that.
their money?
I don't give a fuck.
I understand that, but like, that is stupid to me. Like, if I was a born millionaire, like, I would not be like. That just seems wrong to me. It really just does.
Why can't people spend money on what they want to if they have it?
If it's one thing for spending like. This is just my opinion. One thing for spending $425 on a pair of like regular, nice looking, freshed up jeans, but $425 for something that is painted on with mud. Something that makes you look dirty. That just does not it
doesn't work with me.
I just don't understand.
I think it's brilliant. As far as a business standpoint,
I don't understand it. I really don't.
They could easily charge $15, but they know the people who would want to wear these are people who are not going to do that work. So they'll charge $400. The markup on it is several 100%.
Looks like Josh is starting a business.
They're making a shit ton of money.
But that's all it is. It's a company that's just, and that's what companies do. You get something to get someone's attention to make money. But I feel like this is stealing almost.
Well, we're talking about it. That means it's trending. That means someone is talking about it. That means someone's buying it.
It's marketing.
Yes.
It's
we're giving them free
advertising. It's like the
advertising.
Jinko jeans coming back and being like $1 million.
They're not going to be that much in like a couple of years.
Once they start to come around and be more mainstream, yes, they will probably be sold off and whatever. But I just, that was just a conversation where I'm
so are you more upset the people buying them or the company making them?
I guess the company making them.
Yeah.
Why? It's business. It's
know what's awesome?
Business.
It's if we just I don't know. I just don't like it.
Three things could happen. It's going to be a big hit and all the rich people are buying them. It's going to not move and so they just discontinue them, or they're going to fail and they cut their losses and move on.
I don't agree with it.
I don't know why you would be upset at them for making the jeans.
Brett went to school for this. It's okay.
I understand. Sure, it's a brilliant idea, but I don't know. I'm mad at both sides. Like, I just don't feel like there's better ways to spend your money, but you can tell people spend their money elsewhere for other different reasons. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's stupid that you would spend $425 on a pair of muddy jeans.
So now you're more upset with the people spending the money on them.
I'm mad at the people that gave them the idea to spend that money. And I'm mad at the people for having the idea to spend the money on the jeans. Like, it's kind of 50-50.
And you're mad at the people creating the jeans. So all around...
You're just mad.
I'm just mad.
Here's the same thing. Okay, same thing we're talking about over the summer when people had those low-hanging pants. Well, they still do. It's still a thing. It's still happening. And you said you hate it, but it's their choice. Same thing with these jeans. I'm on Brett's side, and I'm not on the same side.
You were mad first, too.
I'm not done. Okay, so I'm on your side of the fact that, yes, it is a business standpoint, but on the other point is $400 for jeans. First point there. Who's going to spend that money? The rich people that don't work anymore.
I get it. I get Brett's side because this is targeted towards, we have to make something for the rich people.
Yeah.
We have to give them something different.
Yeah, also...
I get it, but I don't get it.
You say what you say about rich people. How do you think they got rich?
By spending money on these jeans? Probably not.
I'm saying they most likely, unless you're a trust fund kid or whatever, but...
Silver spoon in the mouth kind of thing.
The whole
Go on.
Todd Chrisley.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's an example. He worked for his money.
He worked his
kids
ass
don't,
off.
But he came from nothing.
His kids are going to be the ones that
worked hard.
Okay, that is one.
But he's also the father that is going to come home and go, "Is that mud? Why are you sitting on my thing? Oh, Dad, it's fake." And he would be the one to have my opinion.
Angry.
He would be angry.
If you guys,
how much did you spend on that pair of jeans? If you spent any money on a pair of jeans that already came like shit, you're walking around like you look like you have shit in your pants.
So anyways, shout out to Chrisley Knows Best. If you guys want to watch a good reality show, I mean, I want to say this is one of the best because it shows his true nature.
I don't know. I don't know
I
how
like it.
true it is, but it's good.
Well, I mean, for him, his stuff is probably true. The stuff that the kids do are probably just to
I'm
pick
sure
on.
I mean, there's acting involved, but
I'm sure he's exaggerated.
he's probably exaggerated. But I just like his
personality.
and his take on a lot of
his TV
things.
personality is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess moving on.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
Close up with this.
Alex, if you guys are watching our YouTube video or you saw us on the precast, Alex has her hair crimped, which is a 90s trend. Alex is getting ready to punch her microphone again. Alex is getting ready for the 90s concert that we're going to tomorrow, and there's a lot that we have to talk about this. Not too much. We're running short on time here. We got a few, but
there's a couple big things.
There's some big stuff that we realized one thing yesterday. Alex is going to give a shout out to her parents, and there's going to be a reason for that.
There is a legit reason for it.
She had to type this in.
It was mind blowing last night. So for many people that know us, especially that have known us, meaning Josh and I, since we've been dating or since right before we were dating. So what you're talking like 2002.
Yes.
When we were babies. Josh and I technically met first when we were when it was at a dance, and I was in like 6th grade, and that was for one night, and then we took like a year break where after that night I saw him in yearbooks, and that was really about it. And Josh probably forgot about me. So
such a lady killer.
The reason I met him, or the way I met him, was through my cousin, because they went to the same middle school, and my cousin knew I was obsessed with Josh. And the story goes, back in the day in 2002, the big thing to do on the weekends was to go to the roller dome. That's what we did, to go and hang out and get away from parents, pretty much, as we went to the roller dome. And my cousin Heather was having a birthday party and told me that night that as soon as we got there, by the way, I invited somebody special to my birthday party tonight. Do you remember Josh? And then I flipped out because I'd only been making out with this picture for the last year. So not even joking. My DNA is probably all over her yearbook. But he probably had no idea who I was. And so she invited him. And then pretty much from that night on, after he came and we met that night, which ended up being March 16th, 2002.
Yes.
We pretty much we flirted, and a few months later we actually made a relationship out of it, and we've been together ever since. Long story short. And so how this ties into the 90s concert. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when Aaron Carter, who was a pop star, or at least back then he was a pop star, he's more into R&B now.
Yeah.
He was big. He was huge. He's the same age as me. There was Backstreet Boys, there was NSYNC, but then there was Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter was like the Justin Bieber.
He was
of the
pretty
90s.
much the Justin Bieber
the
of
late
the 90s,
early 2000s.
Yes,
yeah.
And so I was obsessed with his album Aaron Carter, Aaron's Party, I believe is what it was titled.
She's so obsessed with it. She remembers.
I'm still obsessed with it. I've actually been listening to it like cheesily over the last few days because he's going to be the headliner tomorrow night. Oh my god! So his posters were in my room. I went into detail into looking up his biography and what he liked in a girl. Like, I was obsessed. I was just preteen love ooey gooey. Okay, and so why this makes sense and why this is all tied together is last night Josh and I, as I kind of told on the podcast before talking about Aaron Carter, is I was part of like this VIP or membership thing on AOL back in the day. And I was able to get the chance to email him and get a response. So what I did is I emailed him and I saw that he was on tour, and Fort Wayne, where we're from, was not in his tour. So I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan."
But he was going to be coming close to Fort Wayne.
He was going to be around Fort Wayne, but I was 12, 12 or 13 at the time. I think I was 13. And I was so upset because I was not going to be able to see him, and I was obsessed with this guy. And what ended up happening is I emailed him and I said, "Can you please come to Fort Wayne?" I gave him the address and where he would perform, which is like at the Coliseum where everybody else does. And so, "Would you please come? My birthday is this month." Like, I asked him in like January, and I ended up getting an email or something back where he had added Fort Wayne to his tour. And I was like mind blown, and I begged my parents to go. And of course I was quote unquote too young to go to my first concert.
12 is kind of young.
It is kind of young, okay? But it's not like I was going, I don't know, I'm just going to cut it off
She
there.
had just turned 13
I
at
just
the time.
turned 13.
So
I had not gone to my first concert yet. I think I might have seen Weird Al, but I went with my dad.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. and they said I was too young to go to my first concert, and I was devastated. It was like everybody I knew was gonna go. It was even on a weekend. Yeah. Everybody was going, and I was gonna be the one to be shut down and say and hear how great it was. And I was like, I was the one that even asked him to come to Fort Wayne. I mean, I don't know if I had anything to do with that, but it was so coincidental that I just so happened to ask him, and all of a sudden he was added to Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
So anyways, again, how this all ties in is Josh and I last night said, you know what? I wonder what day that was that the concert was. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being March 16th, 2002.
Whoa.
So,
meaning,
because her parents didn't let her go,
because my parents
we met.
Didn't let me go to the concert, Josh and I met, and I met my future husband.
Wow.
How mind-blowing is that?
That's, your life could be significantly different.
Yeah.
How mind-blowing is
because
that?
of one decision.
Your life could be seriously
it could be that different. It really could. I mean, there's chances that we would have met later on.
Sure.
But like,
I don't know what other time it would have been.
I don't know what it would have been a good, like, significant, oh, can you just invite Josh randomly to some non-event? Mm-mm. Like, this was a birthday party that he got invited to.
So we were sitting there last night. We're like, oh,
I was
in
like, I looked it up like 5 different places in the news to see exactly if that was the real date. His sisters ended up going to this concert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I told Josh last night, I'm like, you know what's significant? And he's like, what? I'm like, I can remember the day that the time that my parents, and the scene where my parents told me no is no and you're not going, and how significant that was. And it scarred me until this day. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get to go. That was the biggest letdown of my life. But I cannot remember the night I did not get to go to the Aaron Carter concert. And that's because it was replaced by meeting him. And I'm like, that's how important you are to me. So bam.
Wait. It wasn't. Was it meeting him, or was that the birthday party night?
That was the birthday party where I met him.
Yeah.
The night of Aaron Carter's concert was the night the birthday party was where we met and then got together pretty much.
Yep.
So I don't know if I just missed this, but it wasn't where I invited somebody special.
No.
Josh.
Well, no. That was the same night.
Josh was invited that same night to go.
So you had already met him.
I had met Josh.
We weren't in touch. We didn't keep in touch.
It was... I danced with him, and then
that was it.
It was it.
Okay.
Like, this is Josh. Okay,
so
hi.
Really started the whole
what really
thing.
Started the whole thing, and when people say, how did you guys meet? We have 3 different stories pretty much, because we met like 3 different times technically before we started dating. Mm-hmm. Number 1 was we met at a park, or we didn't even meet. I kind of saw him. I met his sisters technically first before anything. Number 2 is the dance, and then number 3 finally, where we consider ourselves actually knowing and hanging out and liking and building a relationship, until the point where we actually did get a relationship going, was that night.
Yes.
So because my parents said you're too young to go to a concert to see your crush, I met my future husband that night instead.
Well, in the same kind, do you want to say anything else about the actual 90s concert night?
Well, we're just going.
I'm going, and I'm super stoked about it, and I have VIP tickets, and I'm going to be front row, and because I didn't get to see him 15 years ago, I'm going to get a freaking picture with him if I can, and I'm going to say, like, I've been tweeting at him and tweeting at the radio station that's like...
Oh, you have to remember to listen to the radio station.
They're going to interview him tomorrow on a radio station, and I got to ask a question.
Which station?
97.3.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, we're going to be interviewing Aaron Carter at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Is there any questions from that we're releasing this to Twitter? Is there any questions you guys would like to ask? And there's only like 3 people on there.
Tomorrow?
I am, but I can listen to it because we listen to the radio. So I'm like, 11:30 tomorrow, I'm going to be listening to the radio.
You want to tell us what your
my question is, what do you miss most about the 90s? Like,
Okay.
I looked at Josh last night
question.
after all of this, because I was like going into Aaron Carter and like looking up things, and he was getting super annoyed. And I was like, and then I got onto Twitter to like look at his Twitter, and I saw he reposted the radio stations saying how they're going to be interviewing. I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like,
what
oh my God, there's only one person that's commented on this. I'm like, they're gonna read my question.
So what she was thinking of is like, what do you ask a celebrity? So I actually got onto forums. I was like, what do you ask a celebrity?
And before he even got on there, he's like, I don't know, ask him what he missed most about the 90s. So technically he came up with the question, but I was like,
you have to assume that they hear the same questions all the time.
Oh yeah, but I figured that was kind of not a common question. What do you miss most about the 90s? Sure. Yeah. So I'm really hoping I put a little comment above that just to say like, hey, I can't wait to see you guys. And, like a thing like that, little heart.
Yeah, so Aaron Carter's headlining this concert, and there's another band, and there's a lot of cover bands. What's the other band?
Nappy Roots.
Nappy Roots. I don't recall them.
I don't remember them either.
Look them up.
I should probably look them up.
Yeah.
My guess is that they might be like a rap R&B. I could be completely wrong. But, but yeah, it's downtown. It's from like 6 to midnight. It's gonna be 6 hours of 90s music.
Yeah.
So I went and I bought overalls. Yeah. Jean overalls.
Wow,
and like a little crop top, and I'm gonna have my hair all done all crimpy like, and have my choker on. Like I'm gonna go full 90s.
Yep.
So if I get my picture with Aaron Carter, I'm gonna look the part.
I'll be sporting the podcast shirt.
Good idea.
Yeah, he decided to do that.
Yep. So I can remember an instant where a decision I made, if I had made the opposite decision,
it would have changed your life.
Completely different.
Could be. Don't know if it would be, but it.
See, that's how it is. It might not have happened, but that was
Do
significant.
you want to know about it?
I do.
Okay, so when I went to my I want to say hometown church, but the church I grew up in as a kid.
Yeah.
I went to that church with my parents until...
That was in Bern, right?
Until I was a freshman. No, it was in just south of Bluffton.
Okay.
So you had Sunday school, and you knew all the kids.
Uh-huh.
Well, most of them there were from Bluffton High School. Mm-hmm. There was just a few from Southern Wells because it was kind of far away from... It wasn't far away, but more Bluffton kids because it was right outside of Bluffton.
Right.
Well, there was a girl in my grade, but went to Bluffton, so we were their family was heavily involved in the church, as was mine. So I knew her, and, because we all knew each other, being in the same grade, we go to Sunday school with each other every Sunday.
Right.
Well, I had the biggest crush on her.
Okay.
On my first crush.
Okay.
For years, but I was terrified, as a kid.
Why do girls do that to guys? I mean, we just go, duh,
exactly.
when we see.
I ask you that all the time. I said, what do we do? And
we're just afraid of saying the wrong thing.
Well, some guys are shy. I was a shy kid.
I'm actually a really shy person, but I mean, you wouldn't see it, but I can be really quiet if I really wanted to be.
She didn't think so.
No.
But anyway. You're social. You've always been social. Whether it's awkwardly social, you're social. Anyway. It was awkward.
Go ahead.
So I think it was 5th or 6th grade. It was when hey, go ask him if he'll go out with me kind of thing.
That's
friends.
how we did.
So one of her friends did that to me. And I was terrified, so I said no.
Brett.
And then, because after that, she was dating the same guy on and off through high school. And I think around her junior year or senior year, it might have been right after high school even. I think she was still in high school. Her family ended up moving to like Marion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I thought, had we been involved, I may have not came to Fort Wayne when I got out of school, or I may not have even went to Fort Wayne for school. Depends on if we were serious.
Mm-hmm.
Would have never met you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This would not exist.
Yep.
It's not with me. So what's the real kicker is a few years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, I was talking with my sister, and we were at my parents' house. My sister's 4 years older than me, and the girl's brother was my sister's age.
Okay.
So again, we all kind of knew each other.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about, families from that church, because my parents still go there. Obviously, I don't. And my sister, she of course does not, because she's a nomad. And she's like, that girl really liked you. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like, are you kidding me? She's like, no, she liked you a lot. Oh.
Actually, I should point that to
decisions you make.
Yeah.
I had almost that same thing that happened with, like, Josh technically asked me out twice. Uh-huh. And the first time I ignored it because I didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
We started dating June 19th of 2002. And in early June, I went with my parents on vacation to Las Vegas. And we came back, and Josh and I's thing at the time between March when we met and June when we started dating was that we filled out surveys. Mm-hmm. Like, just that was the thing to do, is like filling out surveys and emailing back and forth.
Yep.
Just random, what TV show do you like? Just to kind of get to know each other. And then just fun stuff. And I have it printed out somewhere, but at the very bottom, it was just a random survey, like, how old are you? And we had to, it's just asking you stuff, and then you have to send it to somebody and they have to delete it and then do it again. So at the bottom, Josh had wrote, it was a question that said, all right, last question.
What is something
on your mind that you wish you could say right now? And Josh typed in, Alex ... will you go out with me? And at the time, my cousin Heather, who was like the middleman communicating between he likes you, you like him, but you guys aren't, like, we won't tell each other because it's puppy love, and we're like, oh, I don't like you, what are you talking about? But we know we like each other. It's like, it's that thing.
Right.
And we don't want to make it that way. And we knew at the time that he was going to be moving to South Dakota, and we're like, I'm going to stay here. I'm 13.
Not going anywhere.
It's not going to happen. And I thought I heard from her that he didn't want a long distance relationship, because I was all for it. I was like, yeah, let's date. And I thought I heard from her, oh no, he told me that he doesn't want a long distance relationship. So I was like, oh, he really does want to go out with me. That's nice, but it's not going to happen. Right. And so the night that he technically asked me out and I said yes, it was super awkward because his dad dropped us, like, we went to like youth group and hung out and had a great night, did our Taco Bell eat afterwards like always, and then we came back to my house to drop me off, and his two sisters, the twins, were in the back seat, and then his dad was dropping me off at home. And it was like a perfect, like, romantic scene. At night, I was wearing his hoodie and my arms wrapped around him. I'm like, I'm gonna miss you so much. And we're not dating, we haven't even told each other we like each other, but we do. And I'm gonna miss you so much. I don't know when we're gonna see each other again. It was, he cried a little bit, I cried a little bit. It was sad. And then he started to go back to the car, and then I realized when I looked down, I was wiping my tears. Oh shit, I'm still wearing his hoodie. So I went and I took his hoodie off, and I went back into the car, or went into the car to go give it to him, and he told me to just keep it. Aw. He gave me, it's like giving me his class ring kind of thing. He let me keep his hoodie.
Alex kept all of my hoodies.
All of his hoodies. I was obsessed, I told you. He's my Aaron Carter. And his sister, one of the twins, came out as I was walking away and said, Josh is in the back, and he's really sad, and he's upset that you haven't given him an answer yet. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, a few weeks ago he asked you out in a survey, to go out with him. And I'm like, oh, that was real? I thought he didn't want to. She's like, no, he's like upset right now. He wants an answer. I'm like, well, then tell him yeah. And then they got back in the car and he left. Yep. And then it was an awkward, like, he came back 2 weeks later with his parents to get the rest of his shit. And then we was there for like 3 days. And that 3 days was like, we had no idea, like, whether or not we were really going out. And once again, his dad came to pick him up to take him back to South Dakota forever, until, like, we had no idea when he was going to come back. And I went up to him, and we were sad. We were swinging on the porch. And I looked up at him, I'm like, are we going out? And he's like, he just kind of smiled and said, I think so. And I was like, okay. And then he got in the car and left. It was super awkward for like 3 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it.
That's our early
in my
story.
situation, what's especially frustrating is that I was asked, like, younger, but I was friends with her younger brother, and so I was around some as we got older. And I know there was times where she was trying to flirt, and it just went completely over my head.
Oh,
happens
because I was so dense.
That guys are dense.
Oh yeah,
I don't get.
That's
signals.
how it was for like between the time that he asked me out and I, knowing that it wasn't going to happen, I pushed myself away.
Yeah,
like I went and I saw him like the last day, hung out with him from dawn till dusk, pretty much, and
it was
took it in and said,
day.
"This is the last time I'm going to see him." A love lost is what I had, and up until the night where his sister came out and made it official.
Yep. So that was the thing. So
we better get out of here.
It is time to wrap up, guys. We went on. This is pretty long,
like
a little longer. So it is.
I was
time.
Gonna just do the official shout out to my parents for that because. Shout out to my parents, because this is a thing. This would not be a thing if it wasn't for them. So even bigger shout out for them.
We don't even know. I wouldn't have met Brett because I probably wouldn't have moved back to Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And then, just because I'm going to give a shout out to Aaron Carter. So
Woo!
Shout out to Aaron Carter. Not like he's going to listen to this, but shout out to Aaron Carter. And if you haven't heard his single, sooner or later you should, because it's awesome.
It's R&B stuff.
I like it.
Before we plug it in, T-shirt Tuesday is still a thing for the month of May. Go over to our Facebook page. I'll give you the link when I plug it in as well. But it's facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. If you go there, you'll see the pinned top post is our T-shirt Tuesday giveaway. And for the entire month of May, we're collecting comments, likes, and shares and all that. And at the end of May, on the 31st of May, on Wednesday, on the podcast, we will announce the winner on our actual podcast. So you got to listen to win. So I'll show it off for the YouTubes. Yeah,
YouTubers.
If you want to wear this sexy microphone, it is a sexy microphone. Go over there, like, share, and like the page, comment on the post, and share the post, and that'll give you an opportunity to win the T-shirt. Do it. We're going to plug it in now. If you guys are listening to us, be sure to know that we are on other apps as well. We are on Soundcloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Blueberry, TuneIn, Satchel, the Xbox One podcast app, and Google Play Music. We thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing for everything that we do. If you want to catch our video every Sunday night on YouTube, we will have our latest episode in video form. So
you can seem to have found a rhythm with that, so...
Yeah.
Hopefully we can sustain it.
It does take away some time of my weekend, I'll tell you that. If you want to catch us on Exploded Radio, we are on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. That's where they play this recent podcast, and you'll also hear some indie music and all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to...
Personal favorite is "Do You Want to Date My Avatar?"
That plays at the end. I feel
end
like
it
of our
plays
episode.
after. Yeah. It's a fun song.
Yeah,
it's heaven.
I do enjoy it. If you want to follow us on any of our social media apps, again, Facebook, we are on Facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. Instagram is PTOUnlimited_podcast. We are also on Twitter, which is @PTOUnlimited. If you ever want to email us about any topics you want us to talk about or inquire on our T-shirts, our email is PTOUnlimited@gmail.com.
If you don't win one, you can buy one.
Yeah, you can always buy one.
Yeah, you can always buy one.
As long as this one is successful, we'll keep going for each month of the summer. We'll keep it going.
If you didn't win it this month, don't be sad. Just
don't be sad.
Join in next month.
Next month is a shorter month, so less time to wait. If you ever want to follow me on Twitter, I am @Lemke619.
Brett_Wings.
Cute_Kitty.
That's going to wrap up 57. If you guys have not given us a review on iTunes, be sure to do that. And
please.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will have more videos coming out, hopefully in the future. Other stuff. So, yeah, you already pushed that button, Brett. There it is.
There it is.
Alex went bing.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.